My guest this afternoon, a Wolf Apple. They are Gaz on bass, which we are just sorting out at the moment, and Griff on guitar. So Griff is with us at the moment. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent stuff. So what we like to find out from our guests is how they got into making music rather than just listening to it. We all listen to music. So what got you into wanting to make your own music?
I guess I'm not from a very musical family, so I think I discovered it all for myself. My friend... his dad was in an amateur band, so he had a few guitars lying around his house, which was always of interest. I think the thing that kick-started it mainly, even though I was listening to music a lot, was when I remember vividly John Lennon dying, getting massively into the Beatles, as a lot of people did, even though they'd been around, obviously, all the time before. And I think that then made me want to start to play. So I think it was listening to that sort of music, which seemed accessible when I heard it. Of course, if you know some of the songs, they're not always as easy to play as they first seem. And that's really how it started. I saved my pennies, got a few music books from shops or borrowed them from the local library, and sort of taught myself to play just using the Beatles Complete Songbook. You know, literally just, in those days you couldn't go on the internet and look for the chords or the tab or anything like that. No, you couldn't. No. It was just looking at those black dots on the lines and thinking, I think that's where it means I've got to put my fingers, and teaching myself to play, because I wasn't really playing with anyone else. So it was really just trying to teach myself how to play by playing songs, which I think is a good way to learn. And then more contemporaneously, it progressed into bands like the Smiths and the Cure. I was into another sort of indie sort of bands, and getting into their music and learning to play their songs and looking at some of the interesting chords and the way they played, as well as the lyrics as well, really. And I think that was the main way, really. I was working as a Saturday job when I was a bit younger in the Wolverhampton library, the main central library in town, in the music department, and that was like having an education there, musical education.
The old library in Snow Hill?
That's the one, yeah. So it was right on the upstairs, in that music library, and it meant every week I was bringing home 6, 7 or more new albums.
That's why they were never in.
That's why
you got them.
Yeah. And it was just, I'll try this today. I've heard of this band, I've read about them in a music paper, or I've seen their name. But of course, again, you couldn't stream. You had to get the record.
It's a tremendous resource for somebody, with your hunger for learning. It was,
and it was everything from. I remember they had the original, literally box set of George Harrison's his first album, All Things Must Pass.
Yes,
and borrowing that one, and then the next week I'll be borrowing something like the Sex Pistols, or getting into Echo and the Bunnymen, or whatever it might have been at the time, and just expose myself to really lots of different music that way, really. But I think it was always then the desire to try and play the guitar to keep up with it, and try and use it as a songwriting technique, really. Okay,
you got to do a song for us now. It's called Love So Easy. What do we need to know about Love So Easy?
Probably not a lot. It doesn't have a deep meaning.
I don't have to.
I know it's probably it's quite a Beatle-y type one, I guess. Sort of the missing link between sort of Help and Rubber Soul or something like that, and as a folk rock type song. It's about sometimes falling in love with the wrong person, or person you shouldn't do at the right time, but not really doing anything with it. It's really just doing it in the mind, really, I suppose.
Okay. So here's Griff from Wolf Apple with, is it your song, both of your song?
It's my song, yeah.
It's his song, yeah. Love So Easy.
Okay, this is Love So Easy. Thank you. Wish I didn't fall in love so easy. Wish I didn't fall in love so fast. Wish I didn't find the female so appealing. Maybe I would have a love to last. Each time I see your face I'm captured, enraptured by your short black hair, enthralled by your childlike wonder of all that's going on around. Wish I didn't fall in love so easy. Wish I didn't fall in love so fast. Wish I didn't find the female so appealing. Maybe I would have a love to last. Maybe I should try to ignore you, pretend that you're not on my mind. A decent man would leave you wanting, just walk on by like the song. Wish I didn't fall in love so easy. Wish I didn't fall in love so fast. Wish I didn't find the female so appealing. Maybe I would have a love to last. Wish I didn't fall in love so easy. Wish I didn't fall in love so fast. Wish I didn't find a female so appealing. Maybe I would have a love to last. But when I sleep I'm most unfaithful, planning life away with you. To run away with no compunction is something that I just can't do. Wish I didn't fall in love so easy. Wish I didn't fall in love so fast. Wish I didn't find a female so appealing. Maybe I would have a love to last.
We've been joined by Gaz.
Hello.
Hello. Get the right microphone. Say that again.
Hello.
Very good. Now, Gaz has just been to fetch some leads to see if we can get a little bit more equipment working on that one. You've missed the first question, which you're probably heartbroken over. I would have thought.
Well, that's fine. I think Griff has more of a music relationship than myself.
Okay, so I'll ask the second question to you, which is influences. But influences, when you started making music, and influences now that you're performing.
Well, I guess for me, being the bass player, it's always going to be those sort of iconic bassists. You know, a lot of people obviously like Flea and then down that sort of route. For myself, it's more not that I'm a jazz bassist, but I do prefer the more sort of Marcus Miller and Victor Wooten style of bass playing, just simply because they use so much of the fretboard in comparison to most players. Yeah, you know, whether that's good or bad, that they use everything. But no, I do enjoy their style of music. And that's where I aspire to get to, that sort of level for myself, definitely. Okay,
we're going to have a song called Usual Routine. What do we need to know about Usual Routine before we hear it?
It's a song about a warring couple, not one from experience, but it was actually from a TV show where there was a couple who were perennially fighting and then making up again. And he said the one line in one episode about she starts the fires and I put them out, and I thought that was a great line to steal. So worked that into the first verse and wrote the rest of the song sort of around it. And it's called Usual Routine.
Okay, well let's take it away from the top. It's my guest Wolf Apple with Usual Routine.
She starts the fires and I put them out. She's like a hurricane, I follow behind, clean up the mess. My dear, life's such a mess, the secrets that you can never confess, and stories you can never tell, but the times we had, so worthwhile. Nothing is normal when she's around. It seems my feet don't even touch the ground. Everything's changing in every way. Don't know what to do or what to say. She has a passion within, mesmerizes me until it burns. I'm jumping off the rails to get away from harm. Is there another way to cope with all she throws at me? Don't want to control my love, but the price I pay is far too high. Nothing is normal when she's around. It seems my feet don't even touch the ground. Everything's changing in every way. Don't know what to do or what to say. Don't know what to do or what to say. She starts the fires and I put them out. She's like a hurricane, I follow behind, clean up the mess. Nothing is normal when she's around. It seems my feet don't even touch the ground. Everything's changing in every way. Know what to do or what to say. Don't know what to do or what to say. Don't know what to do or what to say.
Excellent, thank you very much indeed. That was Wolf Apple with Usual Routine. We'll have another song from them in a moment or two. My guests today are Gaz and Griff, collectively Wolf Apple. We're going to ask them about songwriting in a minute. But as they're now both back here together in the studio, where does Wolf Apple come from?
I'll let Griff answer that. I don't know what the name,
well, I could have started by saying band names don't have to mean a lot. But yeah,
no.
It was partly a bit of a mix of two random words I was playing around with. And it is an actual fruit. There is a wolf apple, which is by the maned wolf in South America. You can make jams out of it and things, so it is a fruit. Mm-hmm. But it was a little bit of a homage to our hometown of Wolverhampton, and an apple. It was a bit of my Beatles thing with the Apple Records. Yeah. So it just sort of playing around with silly words.
That doesn't sound that doesn't sound made up, but that sounds contrived. That is really good. No, fine, makes perfect sense.
I think I back engineered it somehow into the meaning rather than.
The other problem is the problem I have is you have a local band come on and you want to find out. So you look on Facebook for them, and then there's a band in Warrington, there's a band in Sacramento, and there's a band in Poland or something. They've all got the same name. So you've got to come up with something that's unique. And
well, we sometimes get mistaken, as we found when we played the Robin a couple of times, that we've been announced as Wolf Alice. Now, if we had their money and their fame, we wouldn't mind.
No, they're on a different level to us. And
as long as the confusion went as far as the paycheck at the end of the night.
And a lot prettier vocalist.
We'd like to find out from all our music guests how they go about the songwriting process. Now, you're a duo, so are the honours split, or is it mainly Griff that does it?
The songwriting itself comes from Griff.
Okay.
And then I just basically add a bit of bass into it, but you can talk more about your songwriting than me.
But it is the bass that does add a lot to it, and makes it the song rather than just the original exercise, as it were. I guess a lot of it is going back to what we talked about earlier about musical heroes and things. Mm-hmm. A lot of the songwriting, I like the wordplay of getting little phrases from films or from an excerpt from a book. It might not even be a book I've read. It might just be the title of the book that catches my eye or something like that. Or sometimes some English phrases. Like I heard one, he fell down whistle drunk. I'd never heard that phrase before, and that's in one of the songs we've got.
That's an interesting expression, isn't it? Really?
It's too drunk to whistle when I looked it up. But it was something I never heard. And a little phrase like that then can just spark a song and carry on. And I guess what I really enjoy is the sitting down, and it is usually on my own, the crafting of the song then, turning that initial idea into a full song and arranging it, etc. And I suppose a lot of my musical heroes or inspiration for songwriting are very much the classic songwriters like Lennon McCartney, Difford and Tilbrook, Morrissey, Marr, very English, I suppose, in a way, Kinks and things like that, and David Bowie, big influence as well.
Do you tend to start with words or with chords?
Nearly always starts with words. I keep a notebook on my phone where I'm jotting down ideas all the time, and I can often just write almost a whole song in my head or on the phone, but then when you start to put music to it, you find that words don't fit or phrases need to be
They're annoying
changed.
words, aren't they? They really are. You've got great phrase and it just won't wrap.
But sometimes, it's a bass line, or sometimes it's a little guitar riff or a little guitar chord sequence that, you start just singing nonsense words over it and then forming...
So how far do you take the song before you sort of work it through with Gaz?
They're mainly fully written, aren't they? I think.
Pretty much, yeah. Because you are a prolific writer. I mean,
I think
we'll learn one, and while we're learning that one, you go, just let you know, I've written another 3 that we can work on next time.
And I think
so suddenly the evening's rehearsal goes on into the early hours, basically. You have to keep, right. Okay.
I think it's because I got there was a lot written before, and I was playing live on the open mic scene, which is where we met. Which I was playing anyway, and Gaz says, I can do a really good bass line to that. I think it sound really good, and it did, and that's why we've pursued this. So a lot of them were written probably pre-Gaz anyway, but then some of the more newer ones, it will just rehearse something on that night that I might have written the day before and see where it goes, and then that might change it then. So it does get a bit more collaborative now on the newer ones, I suppose.
And I think some of the newer ones as well, you are more conscious of bass lines coming into them as well, aren't you? So you're writing them a little bit more towards where you want bass to be there. And
I'm trying to leave a gap for a bass solo, but he's I don't think
it's just like a perpetual request, is it?
I don't think he's interested in that yet.
Give me a solo, give me a middle eight.
I thought a bass solo was just you play exactly the same as you were doing, but the others drop out.
Excellent. You've got to show your virtuosity, though, haven't you, though? Really? Yeah, you've got to have a middle section to show off, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
More Like You is the next one. What do we need to know about More Like You?
Part of the song is about wearing a mask and not showing your true colours, I suppose, as it were. But then on the first verse, actually, it goes to what I said before about the taking the odd line from a film. So there's the line, "I'll lasso the moon for you," which, for those who know your classic Christmas films, you might recognise that one from It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, indeed.
And it was just, I thought, I've got to work that into a song at some point, and this was the song.
Okay, so it's my special guest. It is Gaz and Griff with More Like You.
I want to be more like you, less like me. In every conceivable way, I pretend to be someone else until you can stop me. The mask I wear looks a lot like me, but inside I'm no one, fearful of what the world will see. When I'm discovered, I'll lasso to the moon and bring it down for you. If only you'd realise what it means to me and you. Or don't you understand the things I try to say? The small town boy is longing to escape. I want to be more like you, less like me. In every conceivable way, I pretend to be someone else until you can stop me. The mask I wear looks a lot like me, but inside I'm no one, fearful of what the world will see. When I'm discovered, I'll pull you in and bring you back to me. Like a kite on a string, I'll reel you back to ground. I cannot comprehend the things you say to me. want to be more like you, less like me. In every conceivable way, I pretend to be someone else until you can start me. The mask I wear looks a lot like me, but inside I'm no one, fearful of what the world will see when I'm discovered. I want to be more like you, less like me. In every conceivable way, I pretend to be someone else until you can start me. The mask I wear looks a lot like me, but inside I'm no one, fearful of what the world will see when I'm discovered.
Excellent, very good indeed. That's my guest, Wolf Apple, with More Like You. We've got one more from them in a moment or two. My guests this afternoon have been Gaz and Griff, collectively Wolf Apple. We've had 3 songs off. We're going to have another one of them in a moment called Coming Up for Air. Before we do that, let's find out a little bit more about any plans they've got for recording, or if they've got anything out at the moment, or gigs they've got coming up. So whoever wants to lead off with that.
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, we've got loads of songs to do. We tend to play out with about 15 songs, core songs at the moment, but we've probably got about another 20 or 30, which we want to get our heads together, start rehearsing them, start playing them live at showcases and open mics, etc.
Because that's when they get honed, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You know, and they do change. You know, they change, quite a bit. And then out of those, select the best lot, I suppose, and start getting some recording done. So, we can do a bit of home recording, but also just looking at, where we go, perhaps to get a bit more professional edge to it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the next thing, really, is to try and get some of those recorded with drums as well, and a bit more of a band feel to it, but will be the core of it.
It'd be good to get an album out, wouldn't it, to get something on Spotify that, so people can listen to a lot of what we do, but at a professional level. Which would be good. We've
got one on Spotify at the moment, but it is just the one which was, I think we've done during lockdown, wasn't it? So we didn't even meet while we did it. We'd sent each other audio tracks.
Yeah, that was it. It's home recorded at each other's houses.
Yeah, and mixed them together. And even the video, we both recorded ourselves playing to it, and they just mixed a video together just to get something out and keep things moving.
Out there,
while it was all
which was
we
actually
couldn't play.
Usual routine, wasn't it? What we played earlier. So it's that track is available on Spotify for people to go and check out, listen to, and obviously like and follow us on there as well.
Okay, so where can people catch you in the next weeks or months? Have you got a regular place you play or anything?
Lots of open mics around Wolverhampton, Black Country, and sometimes Birmingham area as well.
Yeah.
We've got we had to postpone a booking at Albert & Co in Frankville in Shrewsbury, so we're trying to get up to Shropshire as well. So we're looking to rebook that one at the moment, and there's a few more we're looking to get into and book up. I don't know if there's any irregular, or we could say at the moment where we know we play. I think if I point people in the direction of our Facebook page, which is just Wolf Apple or Wolf Apple Music on Facebook, and you'll see
one of the advantages of having that name is the fact that nobody else has got it.
And there's quite
you have to wade through loads of Wolf Apples to get.
Yeah, there's quite a distinctive logo with a black apple with a wolf print in it as well. So if you spot that, you've got to the right place. And you'll see there's lots of little videos of us there playing different places and little demos we've done when we've been rehearsing. But we'll always put our events on there and anything we've got up and coming.
Yeah,
brilliant. So you're going to do Coming Up for Air. What do we need to know about Coming Up for Air?
So this is after a book that I've actually read fully. It's a George Orwell book, not one of his most well-known ones perhaps, and it tells the story of a middle-aged man who is stuck in a bit of a mundane rut of a job, wins a bit of money, decides he's not going to tell his wife about it, and he'll go back to his old village and revisit, his childhood, I suppose, and see the people he grew up with and see his first love. And, of course, he goes back, nothing is as he expected, everything's changed, and it's very much about, you should never really go back looking for what was in the past.
Okay, well, that's to be listened for in the lyrics of Coming Up for Air by my special guest, Wolf Apple. Take it away.
Coming up for air, trying to find the past. Walking through memories that ever last. Coming up for air once more, who can tell? Wading through moments I recall so well. Coming up for air, trying to find the past. Listening to the echoes of a world gone fast. Coming up for air, you can't go home again. Life's a one-way street, you can't turn around. Trying to remember her face, her perfume still lingers on my mind. The impression of her embrace, the feel of her cheek next to mine. Coming up for air, trying to find the past. There's never going back to a world so sweet. Coming up for air, though a bin field has gone. The ponds filled in and the factories have come. Trying to remember her face, her perfume still lingers on my mind. The impression of her embrace, the feel of her cheek next to mine. Your faded glamour looms, sweet bombs fly overhead. There's nowhere left to run, come rain down on my head. Coming up for air, trying to find the past. Coming up for air, trying to find the past. Coming up for air, trying to find the past.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. That last note was sweet, I can tell you. Really,
Cheers.
the two guitars just melded really nicely.